It's the final day of the regular season with the Big East tournament right around the corner. And today, it's game 3 of a 3-game series between the Providence Friars and the Villanova Wildcats on the Big East Digital Network. And hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome into the Villanova Softball Complex. I'm Nick Mantegna. Great to have you alongside. These teams split yesterday as Providence rode their hot offense to a Game 1 victory, while Villanova had their great lefty pitcher Brett Lawrence dominate in a Game 2 win for the Wildcats. Providence can get into the Big East tournament next weekend, but they need a win today over Villanova plus 2 Butler losses against Georgetown. The Wildcats will throw Brett Lawrence, as she is the Big East ERA leader, and Nikki Alden, their great slugger, leads the Big East in hitting. And meanwhile, Providence has been on a roll thanks to catcher Nicole Lundstrom, as the senior has 11 home runs, plus outfielder Emma Lee leads the Big East in hits. So that's a great dynamic duo for the Friars. Let's take a look at the Big East standings headed into the final day, as St. John's can wrap up the outright title with at least one win today over Seton Hall, while Villanova has a secure hold on the number 2 spot and DePaul number 3. But it's up for grabs between Butler and Providence for that last Big East tournament spot, as it's coming down to the final day to determine the playoffs. The first pitch is coming up next here between Providence and Villanova on the Big East Digital.
Fly. And a 1-1 ball game here in the first, as Dana Morris drives in a run, her 32nd RBI, and that's number 99 of her career, as Dana Morris is 9th place. A nice catch out there by Mackenzie Compton, a Philadelphia area native who gets a homecoming here to finish out the regular season. Brittany Husk coming around to score her 40th run of the year. And a 1-1 game, a ball to Nikki Alden, the Big East leading hitter at .394. Plus she has 9 homers and leads the league in RBIs with 41. So how about the league leaders? Brett Lawrence, ERA leader. Alden, RBI average leader. Emma Lee, hits leader. Nicole Lundstrom leads the league in runs, on base, and walks. It's incredible. And Providence playing the outfield very deep again because of Villanova's great power, as Alden fouls it off her foot. As Coach Jacquelin's trying to play it like a 9th inning baseball defense, everything in front so they don't give up the big hit and avoid a big inning. The Wildcats lead the league in runs scored. 3rd in home runs, as Alden smacked one off her foot there. A little bit painful. They say it hurts more on a cold day. I'm sure it hurts no matter what. That one misses inside. It's 3 balls and a strike to Nikki Alden. And a lot like Nicole Lundstrom, she gets on base a lot because they pitch around her. 20 walks, 10 times she's been hit by a pitch, and a .497 on base percentage. And she gets hit there. So that's the 11th time she's been plunked this season. And those dangerous hitters will get on base. It's the Barry Bonds effect, essentially. Nikki Alden started her career at another school a lot like Nicole Lundstrom, as she will shake it off. Lundstrom started at Syracuse, and Nikki Alden started at St. Joseph's, right down the road from Villanova here in the Philadelphia area, as those two, many know, are big basketball rivals. As this is a fly ball by Natalia Segovia that will drop in for a base hit. And the bases are loaded here in the first, as Natalia Segovia missed all of last year with injury. She gets on here in the first, having a great year, batting .304, as Alden will move over to second. And still nobody out. A run home for Villanova here in the first. Excuse me, 1 out on the sac fly. Here's Megan Ruiz, the freshman, having a great year, batting .321 with 10 RBIs as she hits it foul. She had a good afternoon yesterday, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored in the second game, and went 1 for 3 with a walk and a run in game 1. If you follow Major League Baseball, she played her high school ball with Mickey Moniak, who was the #1 overall pick in the Major League Baseball draft a season ago by the Philadelphia Phillies here in town. So Ruiz comes to play her college softball in the Philadelphia area, and Mickey Moniak, her old classmate at La Costa Canyon High School in San Diego, will be playing here in Philadelphia for the Phillies in years to come. Both were their respective center fielders on their high school baseball and softball teams, respectively. Cristina Ramirez threw very well yesterday, as we've talked about. Last year went 10-9 with a 4.35 ERA. Here's the 1-2 to Ruiz, over to third. They'll come home with it as a nice throw by Vanessa Portillo. Portillo's not a natural third baseman, but Coach Jacklitz had to play her there out of necessity, and she said she could play anywhere. She's a great softball player. She could play all over the diamond, and she's a fabulous defensive player. That play looks easy, but when the pressure's on, you have to make a good play, and Portillo played that perfectly. Ruiz is a slapper. She'll be safe at first on a fielder's choice as they get Hirschberg out at home to save a run. This is Caroline Jones, a rookie out of Virginia, who takes a strike. Nicole Lundstrom doing the catching. Lundstrom has played the outfield before. Another jack-of-all-trades player that also has done the catching for so long up in Friartown. Here's the 0-1 changeup, and she's underneath of it as it's popped up and caught by Nicole Lundstrom to end the first. Villanova threatens, scores just 1 run, however, and we have a 1-1 ball game as we head to the second here at Villanova as a sac fly by Morris. And we're all square here after an inning of play.
The Big East way.
The fans getting their seats here for the Game 3 between Villanova and Providence, as Brett Lawrence will start inning number 2. Last week she earned National Pitcher of the Week honors by the NFCA because of 2 complete game shutouts at St. John's, and one of them was a perfect game at St. John's, just the 3rd in Villanova history. And to do it on the road against the best offense in the conference, arguably in St. John's, that's quite impressive. As it's fouled away by Vanessa Portillo. No balls and a strike to the Providence third baseman. But as we highlighted last inning, a shortstop previously, and just a real tough kid that is the glue for the squad, according to Coach Jacklitz, as she really keeps everybody going. And her versatility makes it even better. She takes it high, gets 1-1 to Vanessa Portillo, a .264 hitter, 6 homers and 32 runs batted in. Here's the 1-1 as she gets jammed on a breaking ball and fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Vanessa Portillo. Just a real unselfish kid. Big presence and toughness for Portillo. Coach Jacklitz just loves her presence around the clubhouse. And another solid veteran for the Friars. Here's the 1-2 that just misses a bit low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Vanessa Portillo, the sophomore out of Chatsworth, California, in the Los Angeles area. The senior lefty Brett Lawrence on the mound out of Nevada, as that's popped up foul and out of play. This is not a hitter's or a pitcher's park specifically for softball. The ball will carry when it's windy and when the wind is blowing out, like most places. And when it's warm, the hitters feel good and the ball will carry. When it is a little bit cooler, like today, the ball might stay in the yard a little bit more. Here's the 2-2 as that's hit on the ground to the third baseman, Lauren Hirschberg, who cuts it off in front of the hole to get Portillo for out number 1. Lauren Hirschberg is a veteran. Lots of good veterans all over the infield. 4 All Big East picks in Villanova's infield from a season ago, with Chase Snell as the second baseman. Of course, there's Brittany Husk, the shortstop. Nikki Alden and Lauren Hirschberg, arguably the best infield in the conference. That misses for a ball. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Nadia Kemp. A lot like Nicole Lundstrom, she started at an ACC school in NC State, and she's picked it up as of late as she fouls it away. 1-1 to Nadia Kemp, a .269 hitter with 2 homers and 18 runs batted in, and she was fantastic yesterday, going 2 for 2 in the second game and 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs in the Game 1 win over Villanova. As that's smoked over to shortstop, a slight bobble by Brittany Husk, and the throw is a little bit off target as Kemp will be aboard at first. So an error it'll be on Brittany Husk, who's usually a fantastic shortstop and makes almost every play. But hey, shortstops will get lots of errors because they see so many balls hit to them. They are human after all. Just a slight bobble, and the throw was off. So Kemp gets on base yet again, which is second most in conference action. The most walks by any lineup in Big East games. 109 runs scored, that's 4th. Villanova has the second most runs scored in Big East play. So any pitcher on these staffs can get great run support, and we're seeing it again today. Top of the order for Emma Lee. Who takes a strike as she flied out her last time up. She's 2 for 3 with a couple of hits and 2 runs scored. Last year, Kiki Baldessari, the great All-Big East first-team center fielder, had 65 hits. Emma Lee ties her as she has 65 hits this season. That's the second most in Providence single-season history as she hits it foul. Baldessari's now in their dugout as an assistant. What a career for Kiki Baldessari. The best hitter in program history, average-wise at .362. Left with the 4th most hits with 201. And I'm sure Emma Lee will someday get 200 hits. Swing and a miss as Brett Lawrence strikes her out on a rise ball to end the inning. 2 more strikeouts for Brett Lawrence as a big 2-out punch out for the senior lefty. 2 great players going at it there as Lee frustrated as Lawrence blows her away to end the 5th. As Villanova within a run, they'll be up to bat next when we come back.
It's on us to not look the other way if we see something happening.
Megan McCune trying to keep the game going in Providence's favor. A 6-5 lead, but neither offense has stopped as 27 hits total in today's ball game. Villanova leads the Big East in hits. Providence is 6th, but they've caught fire late in the season. And head coach Kerry Jacklit's telling me because of that patience that has been very noticeable for Providence as the back half of the season has evolved by getting on base, the most walks by any lineup in the league. They preach on base percentage, and Providence has really done well in recent weeks. Each team won a game yesterday. Now we have the closest game by far of the entire weekend, especially this late in the game, as Chase Snell facing Megan McCune, the right-hander. Swing and a miss. Snell has had a good weekend. She's been on base twice with a single has reached on an error, and she scored a couple of runs, and she had the big hit off of Megan McCune yesterday, a 2-run single, which gave Villanova the lead. As they had been trailing 1-0, they took a 2-1 lead. So a big go-ahead hit when you're trailing, those are the biggest, especially by a senior in Chase Snell, who was an All-Big East second-team pick a year ago. Out of San Diego. McCune out of Orange, California. As Snell fouls it back, it's a 2-2 count. Snell went 3 for 3 in that second game yesterday. 2 walks and a run scored in the first game. She's had a great career. A .292 lifetime hitter as a Wildcat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coach Maria DiBernardi often compares her to former Phillies second baseman Chase Utley. And she calls her mini Chase Utley, who goes over there and gets pretty good defense and goes up and battles at the plate. That's up high and ball 4. A leadoff walk. The Wildcats getting that leadoff base runner aboard. They've done it for the second straight inning, and 4 times today, 2 out of the 4, they've scored that leadoff base runner. Christina Ramirez walked just 2 as she left in the 3rd. So that's 3 walks by Providence pitching. Jordan Olivares tries to bunt, but it trickles foul. No balls and a strike to the freshman catcher, Jordan Olivares. She grounded out in the 2nd and then singled as a part of that 3rd inning rally when Villanova got a 2-run homer by Caroline Jones and an RBI bases loaded walk, but left the bases loaded. And that's been a bit of a bugaboo for Villanova after last year when they hit .329 with runners in scoring position. They'd hovered around the 270s or 280s this year. They're at .266 to start today's action. But Coach DiBernardi has told me we still need better production. So while they've been very good scoring runs, first in the Big East, it could have been better because she's told me they've had a lot of opportunities where they could have had even more runs and even more wins. So that's Villanova softball because they've had success, back-to-back 30-win seasons. There's a bit of accountability and a level of stability that you look for. As Olivares does get the bunt down, and a sacrifice is good. Over to second. Villanova advancing the runner. On top of the order for Brittany Husk. It's a pinch runner at second in Delaney Switzer for Villanova, the sophomore out of Southern California. She's in to run for Snell. So Switzer represents the tying run. Husk takes one high and hard. She's 3 for 3. 2 runs scored. So 1 run scored, has an RBI, stolen base. Arguably the hottest hitter in the league. I'd put Husk and Nicole Lundstrom as the 2 hottest hitters in the Big East. An 11-game hitting streak for Brittany Husk. Nicole Lundstrom has a 6-game hitting streak. So both have been on a nice tear over the last couple of weeks. Both are hitting well over 300, and both are standing right there at the plate. Lundstrom doing the catching, and Brittany Husk, the junior out of Miami. Doubled back in the first inning, moving to second in the Big East in doubles right behind Dylan Christensen of DePaul. But Emma Lee and Lauren Hirschberg, Alexis Walkden of Seton Hall, all amongst the Big East leaders in doubles this season. Villanova led the Big East in doubles last year. That's a strike on the corner. 3-2 to Brittany Husk. With Lauren Hirschberg on deck. And Coach DiBernardi doesn't like the call from the home plate umpire. She gives a little bit of a stare down to the home plate umpire, Ed Novy. It's 3-2. McCune fires down and in for ball 4. And the second walk of the inning. Providence won the walks battle in game 1 yesterday. Villanova ended up just flat out hitting Providence in game 2 yesterday, as Providence pitching didn't walk anybody. Both staffs struggled with walks in the first game yesterday, as each staff walked 8. But Providence won that first game 15-6. 14 hits and held Villanova to just 6 hits. Villanova pounded out 15 hits in the 8-1 win yesterday on a complete game 9 strikeout win by Brett Lawrence, as Lauren Hirschberg sends this one into deep left field, and this ball is out of here. Kiss it goodbye, not coming back. It's a 3-run home run for the senior Lauren Hirschberg, who had a grand slam yesterday, and she gives Villanova the lead 8-6 on her second homer of the weekend. As Hirschberg goes yard, and the Wildcat fans love it here at Villanova. They play her Rock Me Like a Hurricane song, and she certainly rocked that one. A moonshot for Hirschberg, her 17th career homer as a Wildcat. She's climbing up that RBI list in Villanova history. She had one earlier, so that's 4 more RBIs for Hirschberg to give her 119 in her great career. And the Wildcats are dancing. There's Lauren Hanna, the Big East Freshman of the Year, in the hat and street clothes. She's been out most of the year with injury. That's another bat that Villanova could have had in their lineup. So Hirschberg with a huge 3-run bomb and 4 RBIs, and the Wildcats have the advantage. Everybody can hit in the Big East, so no lead is safe. Hirschberg with a big-time blast there. Providence with 3 home runs. Villanova has 2. As Dana Morris hits it foul. She's 0 for 2 with an RBI sac fly. Both Morris and Hirschberg amongst the leaders in Villanova history in RBIs, as Morris is 9th best with 99 RBIs, and Lauren Hirschberg has 119 RBIs. 2 balls and a strike. Last year, Morris was as good an RBI threat as anybody in the Big East. Naomi Tellez and Morgan Mays were the top 2 RBI hitters. Then Nicole Lundstrom was 3rd. Dana Morris was 4th in the Big East last year in RBIs. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dana Morris. An all Big East selection a year ago, as Megan McCune throws her changeup for a called strike 3, as she paints it on the lower half. Nice looking pitch there by Megan McCune. Second strikeout, right by the knees, perfectly placed. If you're a low strike type of person, that is.